The unprecedented conflict between Tyrell and Samantha. Secrets revealed, family relationships shattered? A peaceful afternoon in the Martin and Smitty household quickly turned into a storm when an argument between their two children, Samantha and Tyrell, suddenly broke out. Loud words, tense looks, and anxiety were evident on Martin and Smitty's faces as they witnessed this scene. Both parents understood that this time, the situation could not be as simple as usual. Tyrell and Samantha had been close siblings since childhood, but over time, their relationship had begun to crack. This change was not something that was easily recognized, but once looking into their eyes and words, Martin and Smitty could not help but realize that something very serious was happening. And this time, their relationship was not simply an argument like the many times before that it all started with a conversation between Tyrell and Samantha, not about everyday problems or trivial things in life, but about a secret that Samantha had kept all this time. Samantha's boyfriend, Natha, was the one who made her hide many things. Neither Tyrell nor Samantha were people who could be deceived or kept in secret easily. But for Samantha, love was something she did not want others to understand too well. Tyrell, with his straightforward and truth-seeking nature, could not help but realize that something was wrong. He was determined to exploit the secret that Samantha tried to hide, but did not expect that his questions would open up a bigger conflict that he could not have foreseen. When Tyrell discovered that Samantha had kissed Natha, an uneasy feeling rose in his heart. He did not understand why Samantha could do such a thing, especially when she always claimed that she no longer cared about Natha. Tyrell decides to confront Samantha and demand an explanation. But what he gets in return is not an explanation, but anger and sharp words, making the relationship between the two brothers more tense than ever. Although the argument seems to be a misunderstanding, it touches deep emotions in both of them. Tyrell feels betrayed, not only by Samantha but also by the feeling of not being shared in important family matters. Samantha, meanwhile, feels criticized and not understood, which only increases her anger and resentment. The yelling and tension between Samantha and Tyrell affects not only them but also Martin and Smitty. Both parents feel helpless, unable to understand the reason behind their children's argument. They have faced conflicts in the family before, but this time, things seem different. Each has their own reasons for taking sides. Martin feels sorry for his daughter, understanding the difficulties Samantha is facing in her relationship with Natha. He does not want his daughter to suffer from the pressure from Tyrell, but he cannot deny that Tyrell is searching for the truth that he believes is important. Smitty, on the other hand, has a different view. He has always been on Tyrell's side, feeling that he needs to protect his brother from the unknown and possible impact on the family. Martin and Smitty's feelings are now divided. Their relationship seems to be no longer as strong as before. The difference in their views on how to handle conflicts between their children has caused them to not understand each other, and this begins to create a rift in their marriage. When the secrets between Samantha and Natha are finally revealed, the real consequences begin. Tyrell not only learns about the kiss between Samantha and Natha, but also discovers many things that he never knew. The secret not only affects the relationship between the two brothers, but also changes the entire family picture. The family members are faced with the bitter truth that love and honesty in their family are not always clear-cut things. Tyrell, although he has good reasons for sharing the truth, does so in a way that causes the brothers to quarrel and deeply hurts Samantha. Everyone in the family is faced with a sense of betrayal, and the warm feelings they once shared are now wounds that will never heal. Now, the Martin and Smitty families are faced with a crucial question. Can their marriage survive this test? Can Tyrell and Samantha's relationship be repaired after the secrets are revealed? Or will it all just be wounds that will never heal? The rivalry between these two brothers could damage everything they have built, not only the relationship between family members but also the trust they have in each other. The choice Martin and Smitty make will determine the future of their family. Will they be able to start over and maintain their relationship, or will they simply go down the path of separation? Only time will tell, but the conflicts within their family have created a warning bell that all must face. After the heated argument between Samantha and Tyrell, the atmosphere within Martin and Smitty's family seems to have become stifling and full of tension. Things are no longer as simple as before, when family conflicts were just small quarrels that could be easily resolved. This time, the wounds are too deep to be healed with just an apology or a hug. Samantha is not a weak girl, but it is her love and loyalty to Natha that has led her to a painful decision. She had fallen in love with him, and all this time, this concealment not only made her feel guilty, but also damaged her relationship with Tyrell. Even though they were siblings, no one in the family truly understood what Samantha was going through. She had not only hidden an emotional relationship, but also her own desires and fears. Feeling trapped between love and loyalty pushed her into a constant internal battle. When Tyrell discovered this secret, Samantha felt like a fraud. Her brother's criticism hurt her even more, not because of what Tyrell said, but because she herself could not face the truth that she had hidden for so long. Every word from Tyrell was like a knife, making her unable to stop wondering if she had been wrong to keep everything that had happened to Natha a secret. Tyrell was not one to let things go, especially when it involved the person he loved the most. He always put his family first, and when he saw Samantha sneaking around with Natha, he felt betrayed. It was not just that she was hiding a kiss or a simple relationship, but that she was hiding deep feelings, things that could not be shared within the family. Tyrell could not understand why Samantha did that, why she could not share those things with him, the person she always considered the closest person. The relationship between Tyrell and Samantha used to be very close. They always protected each other in every difficulty. But this time, the feeling of betrayal made Tyrell unable to control his emotions. He felt like everything around him was collapsing. Samantha's words, even though they were just excuses, made Tyrell even angrier and more disappointed. This feeling was not just jealousy, but disappointment in the sister he had always loved. Martin and Smitty, both respected fathers, now faced a difficult decision. Both could not sit idly by and watch their children destroy each other. But at the same time, they could not fully understand what was going on in their children's minds. The difference in their views on the matter prevented them from finding common ground. Martin, who had always stood by his daughter, believed that Samantha had done nothing wrong and that Tyrell was being too harsh on her. He could not imagine that Samantha would hide something so great, because to him, his daughter was still just an innocent, vulnerable child. Smitty, on the other hand, could not help but worry about Tyrell's safety and happiness. He knew that Tyrell was not someone who could easily accept complicated relationships, and he did not want to let his son suffer anymore. But as Smitty watches the tension between Samantha and Tyrell, he feels a different kind of pain. He is failing to protect his son from the complexities and difficulties he himself faces. It is a struggle between the love of a parent for their child and the understanding that secrets and conflict are sometimes inevitable in life. When words are spoken and cannot be taken back, Martin and Smitty begin to realize that their relationship is being severely tested. The argument becomes more than just a simple argument. It becomes an emotional and painful internal battle. Tyrell and Samantha are not just brothers. They are friends, life partners, and the loss of trust between them is irreparable. Martin and Smitty face a painful truth. Can they help their children through this ordeal? Or will this war tear apart the family they have worked so hard to build? The tension between their parents also makes it impossible for them to continue to maintain peace in their marriage. Even the smallest conflicts now become major wounds, causing misunderstandings and arguments as promises and family bonds are tested. The question is whether the Martin and Smitty families can overcome everything to mend their relationship. Can Tyrell and Samantha forgive each other and heal their broken hearts? Or will a life of pain and separation be their end? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Tyrell and Samantha's relationship has been pushed to a new level, where there is no room for easy forgiveness. The words and actions of this argument will never be forgotten, and the Martin and Smitty families must face the truth that sometimes love cannot overcome everything. The storm in the Martin and Smitty family is not a simple event, but an emotional and psychological hurricane that brings with it many unhealed wounds. When Tyrell and Samantha faced each other, things were no longer just petty conflicts but an internal struggle between love and betrayal. In the tense room, Anger and pain were beyond the control of both of them. Samantha, from a gentle girl, suddenly became an image of hurt and fear. She always kept her secrets as a way to protect her weak heart, because her love for Natha was something she didn't want anyone to understand, didn't want anyone to know. However, everything was exposed when Tyrell could no longer bear that concealment. The secret between Samantha and Natha, even though it was just a fleeting kiss, became a knife that stabbed straight into the already strong relationship between the two siblings. Samantha felt like she was broken in front of Tyrell, whom she always considered her best friend, the person she could share everything with. But when the truth is revealed, nothing can save the damage they both have suffered. Tyrell is not someone who easily forgives what he considers betrayal. At this point, he is not just a brother protecting his sister, but a person suffering from the feeling of being deceived. Tyrell cannot accept that Samantha, the person he once thought could understand him the most, could hide something so important. Samantha's tears, her weak apologies, cannot wash away the pain Tyrell must bear. He feels abandoned, as if his love for Samantha is not important, and she is no longer someone he can trust. At the same time, Martin and Smitty, despite trying to stand in the middle to reconcile, cannot hide the conflict in their own hearts. Martin, with his deep understanding of his daughter, could not understand why Samantha would act like that, but he could not deny that Tyrell felt hurt. He stood by his daughter, not wanting her to suffer any more pain, but in his heart, there was a lingering worry. Would his actions cause the family to fall apart? Could Samantha really overcome this pain and shame, or would she be imprisoned in her own torment? Smitty, on the other hand, stood by Tyrell. He saw the pain in his son's eyes, and his father's heart could not help but worry for his son. Although he understood that Samantha was suffering, Smitty could not accept that she had kept everything a secret for so long. Tyrell's feelings of betrayal, although somewhat harsh, were the truth that the whole family had to face for Smitty. He sees himself in Tyrell, feels the disappointment and pain his son is going through. But can he stand by one son and ignore the other? Smitty's inner conflict is not clear, but perhaps that's why his relationship with Martin is increasingly strained. The argument between Tyrell and Samantha is not just an emotional outburst between the two brothers, but also a tug-of-war between Martin and Smitty. Every decision they make, no matter whose side they take, has serious consequences for the family. Can they find a way to heal this wound, or will the family fall apart under the weight of inevitable truths? Each member of the Martin and Smitty family faces a big question. Is love enough to heal everything, or is the damage too deep to be erased? Tyrell and Samantha, though siblings, feel like two complete strangers, unable to share, unable to understand each other as before. And for Martin, he cannot help but wonder if he can do better in the role of a father, a husband. He cannot heal the wounds in his family by his own efforts. The future of the Martin and Smitty family is not only a story of secrets and betrayals, but also a journey to find love and forgiveness. But can they overcome this storm of hearts? Only time will tell, but surely, the truth has been revealed, and these wounds will not heal quickly. Love in the family is sometimes not something that lasts forever, but something that must be cultivated through each day, each challenge, and in constant struggles. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. All the content I make is just speculation and personal sharing. If you find the video interesting and useful, please support me with a like and leave a comment. If you have better ideas or more interesting speculations, please share them in the comments section for everyone to discuss. I appreciate all your contributions and support. Sincerely, thank you.